Okay, so here you have the particular logo. Just going to workspace and just reset the essentials so that all the palettes line up, are all set up on this side. Okay, this has all of the logo on it, and the only part that you're trying to reproduce now is just the pattern that has the floor. So taking a rectangular shape, clicking on it, I'm just going to put a layer at the top. Just title this floor, just going to have it separated, and just create a shape. And looking at the size of this, this may help. Right now it's just a fill of white, a stroke of black. I'm just going to switch this and take the stroke off of it so it'll show the flooring in between. If you had to do this the old way without pattern, you would create the shapes, shift key these, and try to build this yourself, which is still an option, you know, trying to build it like that. But the easier part, at least more uniform, is just taking it under Object, Pattern, and Make. And this in the section will let you go. Initially it tells you it's going to place one of these right into your swatches panel. So click OK. And it's so far showing me it's 5 by 3. It's 5 of these across, 5 of these vertical, 3 across. So you can change this as far as the ratio that you'd see up here. And the grid is just going to go brick by row. And down below where it has the scaling of the size tile to the tile is the artwork. And the link box here will allow it to go from points. PT is for point. So if I increase it, I'm just going to click on it one time, and that should be sufficient. And you'll notice that at the top you are in the isolation mode, so I'm just going to backtrack out of there. So this is now a part that's in the symbol, so I'm just going to take a rectangular shape and go ahead and fill that and see what it looks like. And if it's not thick enough, you can see that this part right here has a stroke on it of that pattern, so I'm going to take that off. Now as I zoom into this, you can see it's pretty tight. So if you need to edit this, this is just a fill. Just double click on this one, and now you're back in the editing mode. And I'm just going to make it one more point just to see what it looks like. And take a look at this section. Again, make sure that you have the stroke selected, or the fill selected, not the stroke. So there it is. So it's a pretty tight section there, kind of like that. I can always go back, again, double click, highlight this, just make this one, and come back. So this is one thickness to it. So I've already taken the logo into Photoshop, so I'm just going to take this one in. But before I do it, I'm going to stretch it out so that it has the flooring covering the entire surface. Okay. Here's the Photoshop file. So I'm just going to split the two windows so I can just drag and drop this on here. Before I do so, in the Photoshop file, I'm just going to make sure that I'm on a layer that is going to drop this right above it. Bring this over here, see if this will come on there. So now it puts it right on top of it. I increase it a little bit. And go ahead and hit OK. So this is the layer that I have. This is a smaller, tighter one, but this is just a bigger so you can see it from the screen. It's covering the top of this, so I'm just going to hide these beneath it. You can see that it's transparent. Okay. The only thing, it's just a solid black, so if you Option delete this, you have to make sure this is a vector object. A smart object means that it has to be rasterized if you drag it across. So here I'll just rasterize that layer and just go. If I Option delete, it fills the entire piece. Edit is Command Z undo, and if I include the Shift key, Option Shift delete, it fills it up with just that color. So this board I just made a little bit larger so you can see it. I'm going to fill it with a lighter color. Okay. Double click on this just to get the layer styles for the bevel and emboss. Minimize this down a bit, and there you have it for that piece. Now again, if you want to shade this or paint this on top of it, here's the brush. Up at the top has a softer brush that I can choose from, and the opacity I have at 20, 25, 35%, and now I have the color. So again, you can choose the foreground color. That's the color that you started with, picking a darker one, and just kind of, this is on a layer above it, so I'm just kind of highlighting it with some shadows here to augment that section to it. Okay? And so here I'm just hitting Command R to hide the rulers, the F key to show it, Command plus just to show it a little bit larger. So I just made the flooring a little bit bigger so that you can see it from a distance. And here's the one that has the tighter section of the flooring. Just drop that down there. So that'll give you at least a little part there, so I can do that piece right there. So that has the tighter floor. Okay?